Five, four, three, two, one, go. All right. Here we are yet again. It is that time, is that place in the universe for another rousing episode of Iris of Our Eye. This is going to be 44. 44. Pretty sure. 44. I'm sitting down with Azure Rain ripple effect. If you couldn't see it on the screen, I'm using a whole nother different setup for recording. Literally, this can only be exactly an hour because Google Meets is only letting me have it for an hour for free. Um, yeah, like two or three episodes ago, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle. Then the thing I had been using wants me to start paying more money, even though I already paid them some money, so I don't want to pay them more money if I don't have to. So it's just gonna be a weird. I'm gonna be tiny in the corner today, right here with this one, and Azure gets to be center stage on the screen. I met this beautiful soul on Threads. If you're getting tired of hearing that, that's too bad because it's just gonna I'm gonna keep saying it. He is some type of dancer. I see a lot of dancing on your stuff that I've seen on Instagram and things. And then also, I was listening to the most recent stuff that you put on your Bandcamp. So there's definitely also a musician as well. Um, what is it was is spiritual gang star, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Gang star.
It's gangsta.
Yeah, gang star. That's pretty good. Very last guy I just interviewed earlier today, he was also more like EDM, I guess might be a way of saying it, but like definitely electronica kind of vibe. But I don't think you guys. That's such a huge like that sound that type of sound is so wide that it encapsulates so much that I feel like two ends of the spectrum maybe if I could set you guys up on a duality or polarity that way. But Azure, is there any other kind of art that you make before I get too far down this tangent?
Yes, let me go over this very quickly. I'm a multi-passionate, multi-talented, gifted, funny, goofy guy. I'm into architecture. I have been into poetry, writing, and taken an interest to creative writing primarily before I would consider myself an artist. Like most people, my artists sucked when I was a kid, and I didn't start developing any sort of skill until I was using small little pieces on the outside of my test notes in high school. And those were like satellite frequencies and designs and asymmetric writing symbols that evolved into its own style. And in my 20s, I realized that I did have a passion for art, and I went into school for audio after I listened to my first tech house minimal dance music to Maximal Remix. And I went to a club, it was inspiring me, and I got into music. I had already been a pianist my whole life. As you see, I have a bass clef inspired by Foxy Shazam, the surf rock guitarist rock band. They're a surf rock band and they're pretty awesome. And he's got these bigger tattoos than me. But when I was 16 years old, I was like, that's what I want. My first tattoo, the bass clef and the treble. So I've been able to hear music and play it through ear by listening to the songs, by like repeating them. So my first song I played was "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?"
Right.
with Simba and Nala wrestling around and falling in love. And I fell in love with that when I was 5. So I would go to the piano, rewind it, play it, rewind it, play it, rewind it, play it, rewind it. And I'd listen because I didn't know how to read sheet music at the age of 5. And I tapped it out and I figured it out. My dad has also been a musician, so he plays the hammer, dulcimer, a wide variety of instruments, the ukulele, he's played guitar, he sings in church, and he's been a very big inspiration to me in the musical way, but he's never really been into my dance music. And I've always wanted to make a type of music that was like dark but eloquent and graceful and beautiful and heavenly all mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
But as my taste evolved into my 20s and 30s, I realized I like a wide variety of music. Probably my least favorite is angry music, but I do like very much peaceful meditative music, classical music, lo-fi music, and lo-fi hip-hop with tasteful lyrics, if you know what I mean. The good stuff, with the cadence and the flow and the rhymes and all the words that are just eloquent and divine.
Sure.
So I got into Fruity Loops production on the digital audio workstation when I was in my 20s, and I went to college for digital audio recording. And I realized quickly I'm much smarter than probably even the teacher. So I took myself out of the class and taught myself how to produce on Fruity Loops. I used a cracked copy at first, of course, being a poor child, having worked for every cent of money that I've ever earned through my own fair trade efforts. And as such, it continued. My music evolution broadened. and I realized it was more than just listening. It was expressing the sound that I heard inside of myself, that whisper that's there when you're trying to sleep and fall asleep, fast asleep. And there's that dream that's speaking to you, like those choirs of angels. And the more I listened, the more mixes I downloaded and played and went on walks and exercise, I realized I was studying as I was consuming. I was learning how to produce by being a consumer of excellent music. I could pick apart the candy parts of music and know when it was not effortly made. And I would listen to artists such like Nina Kraves from Russia, and she has really cool acid side techno and psytrance.
Mm-hmm.
And she was I read an interview from her, and her interview was going on about how she loves music so much that she thinks anybody can express it, and it's something that you hear from within.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really into Nina, and I still am. I love her mixes. She's up there with Indira Paganata with me and favorite psytrance creative artist. And the thing that I've always stood out to me, to my personal taste, since I've been a pianist and I've played up until I was the age of 17, when I started to realize I was more of an intuitive performer and composer,
Mm-hmm.
musician. So I took myself out of my studies in the piano classes that I took, where it was like a camp for pianos, and I was always being asked to play read music. Read the music, play this. Read the music, play this. Read the music, play this. It's always, just like everybody today, we always follow this formula, and there's all these set brick by brick genres of EDM,
Mm-hmm.
like drum and bass, techno, tech house, and there's always like the genres that are surround it, and they like blend their creative elements. And then there's the stuff that's like way out there, like folktronica, down tempo, Latin down tempo, folk, ayahuasca, and square, rock and roll, psychedelic cumbia, dream techno, stuff that's just really interesting and fascinating and with substance. Ricardo Villalobos. These are some minimal artists that I've really just enjoyed. Plastic Man. They're have been really great inspiration to me, and I really love the minimal additions, how it slowly builds, because I like the taste of each little frequency. I'm not gonna lie. I don't just listen to EDM to get laid and get candy flown through my ears and jump around like I don't know what I'm doing. I genuinely appreciate the stuff. It's good stuff to my heart. Like house music is probably my favorite. One
Mm-hmm.
of my biggest aspirations is that I like the tech kicks and boots because it's easy and simple to dance to when there's a lot of percussion and bassy cave sounds going on. Probably one of my least favorite genres would be dubstep because it's very Machine Gun Kelly kind of shit. It's like jump around, wobble, wobble, wobble. It doesn't have much musical structure. It's way out there. It's almost feels like I'm just being bombarded, and it doesn't have like an eloquent flow to it. So, as my taste be it, that I meditate while I listen to classical music and I contemplate the ancient masters of Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin. How did they come up with this genius? And where were all the other ethereal entities teaching these amazing musicians of the time? Did they disappear? Why is it only Mozart, Chopin, Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, Beethoven? So I'm following all this code and realizing to myself that there's a lot of really talented musicians out there, and they just simply don't get recognized because there's just too much of a conspiracy story around the main characters that the other side characters get overlooked. And I'm kind of getting tired of it because I see artists on an equal level and I give everybody a fair chance. And my favorite type is raw. That raw creative element when you're just like experimenting and you're being honest and you're authentic and you know what you want to make and you're trying to get there, but you're not trying to be like, ooh, I like that guy. I'm going to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of poserish to me. So I like the unique elements of the individual soul expression, and I laugh at all these people that jump in on these groups and are like, they're just all trying to copy each other. It's all the same shit. They make the same melodic, progressive house and techno with the same sounds, and it's really easy to pick apart when they're just like not really trying to be creative. So I've always trying to be humble about myself, about how I approach my creativity and blend the symphonies that I hear in my mind when I'm dreaming from the angels that talk to me in my dreams, and I bring them into my DAW with like a lot of sacred gestures, such as like the keyboard and hand gestures and manipulations on the touchscreens, so that I can get as much automation programming into there as possible. And I often work it through 6 different interfaces before it gets to the master program. And then even after I record that audio track, it will go into a new track on a re-recording with extra effects added on it before I start enhancing it with layers. And I tend to slice that apart and scatter it across my tracks and put like pillars of architecture with kicks and different varieties of patterns. And I typically follow a 4/4 beat because it's easier for me, and there's so much impossible amounts of music to make that I can still create a fluent, different type of experimental music using the 4/4 pattern. I don't think it's particularly necessary to be like, oh, I'm the fool that goes off the grid and I'm 5/3 pattern. Like, sure, that's great and wonderful, but you can do that if it's perfect for you. But what's perfect for me is sticking on a 4/4 because the method that I have used for my live setup is using a chaos layer replay, and it has a sync, but it's kind of like you have to you can put headphones on, but at my level I can just tap it out and sync it anyways because the chaos replay is pretty timed correctly. It's a brand new device, but there is a sync button on it, but they're individual pads and they're all original productions, so I feel that gives me a little bit of leeway and people won't be like, he's hitting the sync, bro. But because still got to time it right with my elements and parts, and it feeds through a second chaos pad which I use for dynamic frequency oscillation with my other hand, so it's kind of like I'd be mixing like this but on touchscreens and then launching clips and mixing them like that. And the dynamic effects would be like the equalizer for the dynamic equalization from the bass lows to the mids to the highs. And I can control that on one chaos pad, capture a sample live, let it loop if I wish. And on the main chaos pad that's holding the track information, titles, and IDs, that I don't need to sync per se, but I still need to tap it onto the beat to plug it right into the right spot with the pad. But it's like a pad square. I don't know if you've ever seen those. I'm sure they're on all sorts of.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of midis that have different like think of like drum pads specifically.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
That was that was beautiful. There's a lot of information in there. I could feel
I
a
don't want to
lot.
hijack
No,
this.
no, I just I appreciate not having to talk because like
Oh, you do? Okay. So
yeah, yeah.
maybe I could amplify my voice up and give you more details. But that
Well,
was like a pretty.
yeah, yeah. No, I just wanted to I want to be able to like I guess like guide like if you're this fucking oh freightliner maybe weird to say like a big ship on the sea and you're going like I'm only needing to orient a couple degrees to just continue to allow you on
I'm
your
open to that.
right,
I'm
right.
totally open to that, Zycon.
The oh, shit. So there's something about originality in there because you had mentioned about the posers and then you went pretty hard onto the influences in your whole like journey about how you came to music from like just the whole spiel of like being five and having
Mm-hmm.
Phil Collins
Mm-hmm.
tickle your brain tickle your
Mm-hmm.
brain
My
folds your
dad.
ears yeah
Mm-hmm.
uh fuck man shit
Mm-hmm.
what part of
Yeah,
it
I
was
kind of went on a long strain there. You're blowing wind in my sails. I'm feeling the ship move. I'm really truly grateful that you chose me and that you actually took the time to look me up beforehand and you didn't just throw me on your roster like somebody that's going to benefit you. You actually took the time to search a little bit about my background, ask me a few questions up front about my dancing, and show some curiosity. So that already shows a lot of initiative too, that you want to make this a genuine connection that could last and we could exchange emails possibly in the future if it goes well.
yeah, yeah. I would love to if we could figure something out. I don't feel like I'm good or bad at this. I just maybe I just need more put more reps in and practice. But like maybe making
Oh
something
yeah, it'll
musically
come with
together.
practice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the thing that I had wanted to ask about was yeah when well I guess where do you feel that but these things are related and I don't want to lose the thread before you say your piece, but that where do you feel like originality originates from, and then when did you start to have like some type of if you feel very strongly based on the way that you're talking that you have a very strong connection to some type of spiritual uh, however you want to describe it. But, so when did that like come into your life? Because the way you had described is like angels talking to you in your dreams. I've had that experience as well. So I'm like feel very like oh this guy kind of knows what the fuck I've experienced. So there's some commonality between us. So originality, where does that come from? And then when did spirit start to speak to you?
Well, you're gonna have to think along the lines of common sense for this, and it's gonna come at you fast again. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if the listeners are ready, but I'm ready.
Okay, so you understand that this is the planet Earth, right?
So that's what people tell me.
So you understand every single human being will leave this planet inevitably, right?
That is a universal truth that I don't think anyone can escape unless they do the weird, like, uploading their consciousness to a fucking false matrix kind of thing that media likes
Okay.
to say is some good idea, which I don't think it is.
So you know how that the Earth has a chance of existing in existence of, I'd say, approximately 1/144 trillion chance.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard that stat. I think
How lucky does that feel to you?
yeah. I mean, I pray or have in some way show a form of gratitude for the fact that I do get a shot at existing every day. But yeah, there's people with the opposite perspective where they're like, that statistic doesn't mean anything. It frustrates me, but I agree. It's miraculous. It really is.
So you think on that level and you look at the macro now. We've got the Earth, we've got me and you. There's 8 billion of us, and each of us have this significance. It's a 1 out of 144 trillion, or you could say two versions of 1 out of 77 trillion, or whatever.
Sure.
Whatever number. I can't exact the trillions.
Right. That's we can barely imagine a million things, let alone a billion, and then another three zeros after that is unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
Yeah.
Freaking unfathomable. You're right. So you've already got all the statistics now. So again, I'm going to ask you, how lucky do you feel being one of those people that incarnated here out of pure mystery, trying to remember where we came from in this sea, this ocean of philosophy and consciousness?
I love it. I'm even though I'm in a tricky situation that I put myself into. It's like it'll be so great to be on the other side of it and just be like, damn, I fucking made it through that tough time, and I'm doing this creative endeavor. It's just I feel very blessed and lucky.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's kind of all I wanted to ask because I am very forgetful myself. So if you had a longer strain of that interview you wanted me to answer, I will go through and highlight more of what originality could mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that because the 8 billion souls or people, bodies, whatever, that contain themselves on this planet and don't like blow apart into smithereens for some reason, um, they're like they're truly unique, and I'm not sure they really realize it because we've caught in this game where we're all trying to copy each other and copy
That
so
hurt.
we can be a part of things. But I never wanted to do that. I felt like I was born to remind people that they have an inner genius, that they're rare on a basic level, and I kind of have this form of agape for humankind. Agape.
Is
It
that
means like it's like what agape is just like the most basic fundamental Greek term for love. It's like the most common type of love.
right? Right. Right. Yeah.
Like
That
when you go to the grocery store and you just kind of like looking at everybody like, oh, this is cool. Look at all these people. This is cool. They're buying stuff. Like I feel agape for these people. I don't
right.
want anything from them per se, but they look cool. I
Yeah.
just have a basic love for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like a cultural phenomenon to exist,
The,
and
the,
I'm truly lucky and blessed.
the idea of sondering, where you're just like you're going about your way and you
Yes.
constantly realizing that everybody else around you is also going through this fucking their own universal like crazy shit that they're dealing with. And you're like,
That's the key word, sonder,
whew,
right?
yeah, yeah, dude, that's such a like awe inspiring feeling of just like, damn, my life is crazy and complex, and so is everybody else's. Like, fuck, Jesus, and the
So it's like I sonder at you and ponder at you. I ponder at your sonder.
yeah, exactly, dude. The quote, that it's very like descriptive or matches what we're on right now is something that my friend said to me a long time ago. That like the one thing that makes us all the same is that we're completely unique. I'm just a fan of that one.
Exactly. We're all individuals, and I'm such a fan of that.
Right on, man. And then so the other part that was after originality, which I think sort of is the origin of all things, is like when did you start to feel this like have
Oh yeah.
the I don't know if you want to use the term muse because that's like a sort of a very specific different idea, but just like the when did spirit start speaking to you or through you or however you want to say it.
Well, since I was 5, I was raised Baptist Christian. Mom had me become baptized at the age of 9.
Mm-hmm.
And since I first prayed to the Spirit of Jesus in my mind's eye, which I did not know then was called a mind's eye, I saw a yellow, gold, blue orb. and it was outside my window in the car on the way home from church after I got baptized. And it kind of flew, and my mom's kind of like interrogating me. She's like, Jordan, you believe in Jesus, right? You accepted Jesus into your heart, right? And I'm like, yes, Mom, yes. And I'm looking out the window, and this gold little orb. Have you ever heard of orbs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It flies around to the outside, and I'm 9 years old. It goes into my crown through my third eye, and it moves into my heart, and I feel this gold cross go up in me, and the blue kind of went into me. So when the blue went into me, I felt related to the blue, and later on, I kind of started to feel deeply, and I'd always be contemplative of my emotions because my mom would say I would cut off my left ear for the woman I loved and put it in a box for her to give it to her to prove that I loved her. I don't know if you've heard that one before.
That's very, 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 very Picasso.
That's how much I love.
No, Van Gogh, very Van Gogh-esque. I think that's who that was.
Yeah, I think it was, but it could have been a different artist. You might be right because I don't even remember off the top of my head. It's probably
No.
Van Gogh with the cut off his ear, the crazy
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love you, dear. Snip, snip.
Yep. Here's my ear.
Ta-da. This is how much I love you. Will you marry me now? She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Oh, how you'll hear me scream at you now doing dishes.
Jesus Christ.
Sure,
Oh
maybe
shit,
that.
dude. Wait,
How do you compose your music or
oh my
art?
god, bro, that's so funny. Holy shit. I hope I remember. I'm gonna write that one down. You're writing down this other stuff, dude. That's so fucking funny. If you write, oh, dude, holy fuck, that's a stand-up comedy bit in itself, dude. Oh,
Endless
Jesus.
jokes, endless jokes. Listen carefully. You'll see it. I accidentally hide my jokes in my words,
Hmm.
but if you listen subtly to the vibration, real subtly, you'll catch the jokes.
Nah, dude, I'm very maybe I'm too much like my father in this way because he would say this shit all the time, or he's like, I see shit that other people don't see. It was like, yeah, like people like, I don't know. I'm a comedian, so like I have a weird twisted sense of humor in and of itself. So like I find things weird and funny that other people don't. So since it's all subjective and shit, you just have everyone has their tastes. Most people don't like death
Yeah,
metal, but people who love death metal love death metal. Like,
I like death metal. I like the techno remixes in death metal. Have you heard the Mudvayne remix, LD50, the album with the blue and white molecule? And it's called the band is Mudvayne, Mudvayne.
sure.
The album's called LD50, like LD50.
Mm-hmm.
And dang, the song is just so cool. But it starts out with the techno part, and it gets into like slowly mixing in like metal chugs,
Oh
and it's
shit,
like really cool metal techno. It's kind of like this one song called "Deleted Scenes of a Snuff Princess" from Cradle of Filth. I don't
dude.
listen to Cradle all the time, but that song blows, rocks. It's dope as f.
I just love that like this is our first time like really like sitting down to talk to you and you're just like telling me all this shit that I've never heard before in my fucking life, dude. This is like half
Right.
the fun of doing a podcast. It's just the novelty of
Yeah.
like here's some shit you've never heard before, guy. Have fun. Like what the heck, man? That's
I
amazing.
used to blast "Deleted Scenes of a Snuff Princess" in my car because it's so techno-y. You're gonna have to hear it. It's like a club soundtrack death metal track.
Bro.
So that was
Jesus
always like
Christ.
what I wanted to do is make death metal like Evanescence and Amy Lee, but with techno and the art of house and techno and like deep techno and kind of melodic but not purely melodic, just like mysterious elements blended in and slight different vibes.
So I'm just curious, have you ever heard of power
Yep.
noise?
Are they kind of like Crystal Method?
Well, so I have no.
If not,
I
no.
literally just learned about it like a few hours ago. The dude I interviewed, I am Scythe. The last guy, his episode. People, if you want to check that shit out, he just told me about it. He's a DJ over in not Berlin, not Copenhagen, different
Hmm.
city in
Mhm.
Germany. Even though I know Copenhagen's not in Germany, but that like different place out there, and like he just told me about power noise is like this other like genre of music that's like this thing that's like probably extremely abstract, and you have to be already into sort of like EDM and stuff to have an acquired taste of it. But it's just, I just the things you're
What's a
describing,
good
I was
song
like, do you
for
know?
power noise? What's a good song? Could you rec?
I have no idea. I literally just I haven't heard a single thing that I would
Is it
even be like.
industrial?
I literally I have
Have you ever heard of
no
body
idea.
music?
What?
Have you ever heard of body music, Cyclone?
No.
There's like industrial body music, but body music is the music you feel in your body. You don't listen to it with your ears. It's more of like a thumping vibration of your heart. And when you're in the same room with people and you're listening to body music, dance body music, your hearts will synchronize with the people in the room. Literally,
Bro.
physically, your bioelectromagnetic field will ripen and merge with the frequencies around you, and you'll feel more connected just from hearing the body frequencies pummel you.
Oh, that sounds so cool, dude. Especially, like, even if you were sober, that sounds incredibly enlightening, and that like it would just be good for your soul and like your the community of people that you're doing it with. It just sounds like incredible. But then to think that you could also do that in a psychologically open, spiritually open thing of being on a psychedelic and also doing that just sounds like you would be such a fucking wizard to be able to help people heal in that way. Like I'm really, and it's scientism or any of the scientific side of like studying the effects of sound on the human psyche. I think is something that if I could continue to do that with my life and mix that and merge that with the plant medicines that I'm trying to pursue and work with, that like though I could just really blend and create a really fucking awesome experience for other human beings.
Definitely. Can I ask you something?
Please.
Did you open my website, my main website, Zycon? Or
Uh,
do you have access to open real quick? Because I do have something I could show you that you could read along with. It's a neurobiological presentation.
oh shit. Sure. It's I could open it on my phone. I looked at the Etsy and I looked at the Bandcamp. So I did not look at
Oh,
the other.
oh, oh, I pay for my own domain on GoDaddy, so if you go in Weebly, it'll redirect you, or you can just type in my full name.com, jordanericbailey.com. Do you see it? Jordan created the artist Azure Rain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna pull it up with you so I can scroll with you. So just scroll down a little bit with the hearts there and scroll past book in the 333 codex, scroll past how can I serve you? That's me offering up my goods. And then the next thing is what's up, friends? I thought you might like this.
Yeah, I got it.
How music affects the human biological system.
Oh yeah, baby.
A PPP on how music affects the human.
Oh, did
So
you
you can read
you
that.
you made this?
Yes, I wrote that. I was bursting with the knowledge of this because of my self study, my
Uh-huh.
self directed PhD study. And I brought this in and I put this together with a little bit of research, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. My mom gets mad because she can't even understand what I say when I speak on a basic level.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a personality test, not personality test, a vocabulary test,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even think. I just went through it and I didn't look up anything at all. And I got the highest level achievable, which is a C2 grade, which shows I have complete mastery over the English language and I'm able to articulate myself in a variety of ways philosophically, mythologically, poetically, and scientifically that blends and merges all of those different gaps between the links that are needed to bring together these bodies of knowledge. So I really think it lies with music and understanding the sacred knowledge of the secret frequencies of the ancient knowledge of music and where music comes from. Because have you ever heard Om is just a sound and that is the source of all vibration and the universe?
Yeah, I got you, dog. I got
I got you, dog.
three different ohms.
Om, Om, Om.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
We're the
baby.
Om Bros. We're Om Bros.
Oh fuck, dude. Do you actually No, I want to do this when we're not recording because I don't want them to be on the podcast. But this is like I want to hang out. I want to hang out with you IRL, bro. This is fucking
Dude,
you're
we're
definitely
getting lit.
you're fucking
Definitely.
genius. You're a fucking genius, dude. I can tell just the way that you're talking.
And you know what my spiritual mission is, Zycon?
Um, no.
It's to remind everybody that they're the genius themselves, remembering that they are the genius themselves. And I use repetition and healing quantum somatic therapy words, and I choose my words so that they reflect through your own body. Because when I write and I understand when we read, your conscious is interfacing with those words, and your vocal cords are vibrating the exact words you're hearing, thinking, feeling, touching, and reading. So if you read an article about bullshit, you're going to feel bullshit shaking in you. If you read a meditation and you turn out everything and you tap into yourself, you're going to feel that inner light peace.
Yeah, people don't realize how like part of the process of coming to a plant medicine ceremony. There's the idea,
Mhm.
the concept of the dieta, and it's like.
The dieta? Is
Yeah,
that like a deity?
it's
Sorry.
no, it's just it's diet, but in Spanish.
Oh, dieta. Okay.
Yeah. So
Hablo español.
yeah, sí, un poco, señor. Pero the notion extends past not only the food that you consume, but everything you're putting in your brain, like listening to,
Exactly.
thinking about,
Exactly. Exactly. And so when it
witnessing.
comes down to it, I was just going to say that the creator is either the consumer or he's the creator. And that's the master duality between the master artist and creation. If you see yourself as the master artist expressing itself through an interdependentness through the master artist, you become connected to the master artist. And that's how you unlock your higher spiritual gifts from your higher 61 points. Because I've studied this quite a bit in Tibetan ways, and I'm not trying to echo for the sake of echoing. I just really genuinely, truly have a fascination with Tibetan Buddhism and Hindu mythology and the ancients of China and Russia. And I'm still researching Africa, but I just like to see how it all works through the etymology of things and where words come from and why the words are what they were. Because there's a certain energy in the container of words, and when you choose your words right, it can have a drastic effect on people for like healing purposes.
No,
For
absolutely.
example.
I've no, yeah, right. For no, I've been grappling with recently the whole way that our language, like the language we're taught in school, and that like permeates culture, is like this one dialect of English, if you want to say, specifically speaking for America, but that like when you get to a certain like echelon of society, that they use a different codified language. Like if we're speaking common, they're speaking like legalese, like the lawyers and the people who are writing the rules and everything that we follow, that we're supposed to follow. That like those people calling the shots, they have like, I guess manipulated, yeah, the language so that like we don't actually understand like when all the terms and agreements anyone ever fucking like signs, like when they sign up for any type of service, like no one reads that shit and they know that you don't, and then like
Uh-huh.
recent, I don't know how recent this actually was, but I had heard this story that like people went to Disney and so somebody died from having an allergic reaction to peanuts, and because they had signed up for Disney Plus, they couldn't sue Disney as an entity because it was in the terms and conditions that you can't sue Disney for the thing. Yeah, dude, it's just this whole like giant fucking loop of like, because no one actually understands and reads, and we just passively commit and agree to these giant things that they just steal and manipulate and like abuse us because we're just
It
not
really does seem
oblivious.
like that, and I think you're really ahead of your game, as Icon. Because when you said that just now, the lawyers and doctors use like a secret language to like code it so that you can't figure it out. That's so true. It's like they put up. It's like they have all this body of knowledge, and then they create so much text around it, you can't see through it. It's just like the universe's ball of white light that we can't see past. You know how we're like we can't see past a certain way. Some stars light will never reach us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but like the stars that are in control, like the lawyers and stuff, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna put up this big wall of text. You're not gonna understand it, and it's gonna benefit me only. So you're basically likely to get screwed because you're not willing to do the research to figure out how my language and technicalities work.
Exactly. It's such a fucking like,
I just had that thought like a year ago, and I'm 30. I'm over 35, and I'd imagine you're 27 to 28.
yeah, about to be 29 in December, so you're on
Oh,
it.
December. Sagittime Om Namaste, bros. Double Saggy, double Om Namaste.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have seven. I have three birthdays in my family in December, and this year we have like seven events in December
Mm-hmm.
coming up, like
Nice, man.
family weddings and stuff.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing in December. I'm not even planning that far. I know I'm going up to Washington next week for the 4th of July, and after that, probably, hopefully, getting a new job because my job has been messing with my hours, but that's just my own 2 cents that I'm dealing with some
Oh
emotional
yeah, I'm
turmoil.
sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
You're good, man. It's not your fault. I appreciate your empathy. I just feel like this is just like around a genuine ass conversation. It's less of an interview, more of just like we're connecting
Yeah,
as people.
yeah, I love that. It's much less pressure off because you don't have to feel obligated like you have to do all the stuff and like hold to any standards because you see me as a human and not like some player that's trying to like perpetuate himself as something on a pedestal that he isn't.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just trying to be
definitely.
loose.
No, much appreciated
I appreciate it.
the
Yeah.
genuineness and the authenticity.
To genuinity.
Yeah.
Genuinity?
Oh,
Genuinity.
genuinity.
Genuineness.
Damn it, dude. Barbara Manatee. Fucking goddamn.
Barbara Streisand. Down, now, no, no. Down, now. Down,
Yeah,
now.
no,
Barbara
can't touch
Streisand.
this.
Down, now, no, no. Down,
Oh
now.
my god,
Down,
yo.
now. Barbara Streisand.
Partially, the endeavor of this whole like podcasting thing is to just give people the artist's like fucking foundation or like a platform to stand on to like espouse whatever thing they
Oh
want to
shoot!
talk
I didn't
about.
mean to take it over. Yeah, I could talk about my shadow fractal dance videos and what I was doing on YouTube and my Patreon.
Sure.
Do you
All
have
right.
any way to look at those or put them on the screen, or I can hold up my iPad and show you a couple if that's easier,
So if you
so I can
want to
kind of.
find specific ones you could talk about, you can send them to me, and I can edit them in post and throw them up on the screen as you're talking about them. That's the
Okay,
wonderful
cool.
thing
I'm gonna
about
get one.
being an editor as well as a fucking creator.
So recently, I want to go back in time a bit about what you were asking me about how I got into my spirituality and stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
started telling you about when I was age 9 and Jesus came into my heart.
Right.
So it wasn't until I was 17, 18, 19, 20 that I started hearing all the type of samples they have in the dance music. That's like kind of like out of your body sort of meditation samples. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I was listening to those and I started to get curious about things because naturally I'm a curious person. I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be bossed around the people that know more than me just for the simple fact they know more than me. So that's why I took my education in my own hands because I was getting tired of the system always being like, okay, we're going to learn about indigenous people now. And this is all the right answers for the test. And if you get them wrong, then you fail. And like that defeats the point of understanding indigenous nature. It's up for interpretation. There's shamanic people that are open with the world and they listen to the world. They don't tell you how it is. And if you think about it, what your parents do, what anybody does, is they tell you what it is. They don't leave it open to interpretation. So if you get rid of that stuff that's telling you what it all is, you get to really make up your own design. Like, why is a cat a cat? Why is CAT? Is it maybe because when they turn, they have that shape like a C, and maybe they arch their backs so they have like that A, and then the T because like I don't know tail or something. But maybe it's not a cat. Maybe it's like a um I don't know, like some other word, like a meow. I guess you call them like what they say because that's their language.
Sure. No,
But
it's there's definitely like a place where it goes too far, where like authority becomes this corrupt, tyrannical like thing. Because in my mind, that like you, as a little kid, you need the structure to like function and not get hurt. Like if your parents are like making sure that like they tell you some stuff like, hey, like don't stick a fucking fork in the power outlet, guy. Like you're gonna get hurt. We love you. Please don't do that. Like we have to put up a boundary here and like make sure you don't cross. You can't have that be open to interpretation. I don't feel. I feel like that's like the level of safety like is necessary for like getting to a point where you can grow and become your own person. But then yeah, when it becomes too like bloated and like you get to the societal level where like nobody's questioning anything anymore and people are able to just manipulate you or
exactly, and nobody wants to be manipulated, so we want to make ourselves unmanipulatable and then spread that not like a disease, not like a virus, but like a virus without the emotional containment of the negative. Uh, good
like a
virus.
like a meme. You want to spread like a meme.
Sure, that works.
Yeah,
Whatever's clever,
let's
whatever's
just,
hilarious,
it's just
sort of.
less yeah. The virus has a real bad sound to it for sure.
People will probably never agree that a virus is a good thing. You can't reverse psychology them into saying there's such things as good viruses. But I was trying to think of the opposite of a virus, something like a healer, like a compassion wave, a compassion ocean wave. How about that?
Sure,
A compassion wave that we can all surf or something.
I mean, because like it would be
Because
like
viruses, what's bad will always be bad.
like
So like viruses are
a
bad.
cure, I guess. A cure would be the opposite of
That
a
works.
virus.
Cure. Synonym for soma, ginseng.
Damn, yeah, Soma.
So I sent you this video, brother, Mr. Zycon. Let
But
me know you received it, and I'll tell you the title and what that means.
yeah, so I see Creatrix, Metatrix, Trix, Young, Child, Old Child, Village, Burns, Mouse, and Cat, Shakespeare, Poetry, Dance Art. That's what I'm looking at right now.
So they have this old saying, and it's that it takes a village to raise a child. Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that, yeah.
I would say that there's this new interpretation now that we're in 2025, and I think it takes the child to raise the village.
Okay.
So if you take any wisdom like this and you reverse it, I think you're going to find the absolute truth, Psychon. If you can try that, turn it upside down, flip it. All the wisdom you ever read, all that ancient wisdom, just start reading it backwards, if that made sense.
Mm.
I'll try to make another example if that's helpful. But I'll go ahead and get along with this Shakespeare poetry dance art Could I see it on your screen, or should I play it and talk about it on my own screen?
I'll look at it as you're talking about it. Is it a video? Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like a 3-minute video. These are art magazines. What I've been doing this year is I decided I wanted to be a full-time artist
Mhm.
since I lost my job at FedEx and I couldn't keep my job at the other place because I worked too hard and they didn't like that. So I've been without a job for 6 months and like, I don't feel good not doing anything, watching TV.
Mhm.
So 9 months ago, I vowed to never watch basic ass boring old programming again. And I said all news is fake news and I shut it off for myself. And I'm not going to argue with other people or tell them that's right or wrong, but it's just what I did.
Mhm.
And so when I did that, I found myself having more inspiration, more time to work on things, more time to brainstorm and savor my day in the sacred small moments that are very mundane.
Mhm.
And it became that much more meaningful for me. So it's been a very much of an acceleration for me in the past, I'd say year and maybe even like 4 years before that, where some artists tried to like burn down my work because they're super jealous and they'd rip up my shit and they vandalized my house and squatted me for 2 months. And I'll give you their names if you want.
Ah,
Good.
F. I don't like.
We'll pass on that.
Let's not give them any more attention they deserve.
No
But
more attention than they deserve. The
yeah,
shadow eats its master's heart.
yeah.
These are just poetry expressions that I use. And what I do is I make cutouts of my dance work.
Mhm.
So you can see me dancing with this fractal motions here.
Yep.
And the fractal motions are essentially my hand-drawn art pieces, which I have probably like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of original pieces that I've spent anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day on since I've been 21.
Mhm.
So I've certainly passed 3 master levels of artistry if you've considered that it takes 10,000 hours to be a master at anything.
Right.
And that's how I am so multi-passionate. And just 2 months ago, I set 2 records. I walked more than 700,000 steps in that month, which is close to breaking a world record because a million is about almost most people can do unless they really are willing to die for it. And the other thing I broke was I was writing and writing and writing, and I wrote so many words, I counted them, and it was well upwards of the 450,000 mark, which, if you look in the most professional of professional people in history, they consistently put out the effort over the years. But that was my first milestone
Mhm.
that I ever outputted that much writing. And I borrowed GIFs from the internet. But have you ever read this book called Steal Like an Artist?
Uh. Y- yes. I don't know if
It
I've
is a
read it,
good book.
but
It's a really good book. I totally recommend it if you're an artist or interested in arts at all.
Mhm.
I'll send it to you.
I'm gonna have to because
You can actually get a free audiobook of this read to you
on
on
on YouTube.
on YouTube. Like, yeah,
I'll have to start doing that. I'll have to listen to that then because I love the quote, "Good artists steal and great artists don't get caught." And so.
yeah, it's like whatever you can get away with. I've been hearing that metronome pretty often. There's also another great book called Big Magic. I've also forgot the author. I'm not good with remembering author names, but Big Magic teaches me to like dream really big because your consciousness is what creates reality. And
Mhm.
when you record your dreams, they become more active.
Mhm.
And the more you sleep and have these active dreams, the more you remember them in your waking life. And it's like a blending of the two. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, I'm living that.
Is
So,
that a sound room you're in, Tycon,
oh
brother?
yeah, it's the place.
Oh, cool.
This
Oh, wow.
co-work space that I'm using to record the
Oh,
episodes
wow.
here to get decent
There's
audio quality.
insulated foam type. Very nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Looks pleasant.
yeah, yeah. It gets the job done. All the little fucking little triangles canceling out all the noise.
I think we're, I think we're like shot down on time, right? Like 20 minutes, or are we at 15 already?
Oh, I think let's see, 7 plus 9, so 16, give or take.
Cool. This is going along pretty fast and smooth, I'd say. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we're right where we need to be.
So
I hope
I
people
was
are
gonna say
enjoying.
I'm enjoying it. I was gonna say something really goofy at the beginning, like, "Hey, Zekon, bro, anytime you want me to talk, just hand me an imaginary baton like this."
Oh, dude, damn, I have this because people places that I've gone, they use the idea of like a talking stick or whatever when they're in the sharing circles and the ceremonies. But I have this
Yeah.
little blue heart that this lady gave me, and I use it as like a speaking stone. Just I think it's very adorable.
Oh, that sounds so sweet. Blue
Yeah,
heart. I was gonna tell you the story of where I got the azure color from.
sure.
It seems to throw a lot of people off. and it exists as Azul in blue,
Mm-hmm.
and Azure is merely a shade of blue in the English language. It's not at all uncommon. I've
Well,
even seen other Azure Rain studios, musicians on the internet, but I'm trying to prove that. I mean, not trying too hard, but I do feel a sort of sense like I should claim it as myself more since I put the three at the end. And when I made that up,
mm-hmm.
I was inspired by the shade of the sky, and the word that came into my mind was the poetry word azure, azure, and it kind of sounds like as you are, like just be as you are.
It does.
And so it's kind of like a respectful name because it's like azure, like azure. And you want to know a funny coincidence, man?
Please.
This is so strange. When I looked at my family history, I discovered that my favorite number nine, a derivative of three threes, is my family crest's number of stars on a blue azure shield.
Very, very synchronistic. I don't, sometimes I
I know.
feel there isn't really ever a mistake. It's just,
Imperfectly imperfect.
yeah. There's just never a fucking, never a dull moment if the things are
Like
meant to
never a
be.
dull moment. I like that.
They'll work out
Yeah,
better than you could
truly.
possibly imagine.
You
That's
gotta
a
remember that. Things are gonna work out better than you possibly imagine.
yeah. This is a fun little
Oh,
caveat for anybody listening.
a caveat
Mm,
for anybody listening.
so do you where to go from here? I guess yeah. We'll see if we can get this in. What are your thoughts or feelings around artificial intelligence?
Oh, okay. So since I'm neurodivergent, which means I have a perplexing thought pattern that kind of jumps from different pattern to pattern, and not everybody is able to recognize it or follow very easily.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a certain neurodivergent chemical collection to be like this, and to the U.S. government, it's considered a disability or like a hazard, and like I'm not allowed to get medical marijuana even
Mm-hmm.
because it might influence my hallucinations, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with that, where was I trying to go with that? Life is kind of like a total recall. It's like remembering yourself from the future, and you've given this ability to choose with your will how you're going to build that.
Oh my god, dude! You say so many things that I've had these exact same thoughts previously, and it's so weird having somebody else like say them and be like, I've fucking thought that exact thing before.
Maybe we've all thought everything all exactly at the same time, and the entire universe is nothing but just a thought.
Yeah.
Just a thought, one thought, and it's all split in between all these thoughts, and that everybody else is disorganized, and I'm the sane one. I don't have the disability. Everybody else is crazy.
Well, it's like, do you subscribe to what they've ascribed to you as the way to fucking like feel like scared because you have the quote unquote condition, or is it just like you just own the fact that you're just this is the way that your body works and you're not
Well,
gonna
it's been like
let
a
it
big
stop you?
deal lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like a big deal lately because I figured out that I should be really proud of it. And I know it's like a negative thing for some people and they might make fun of me for it, but I should stay away from those people because I'm super rare. I'm super scarce. And according to the laws of nature, I should be in high demand. I should have a really high bank account and being asked to bring my videos to all sorts of dance festivals and put them up on the screen and let people read my poetry and dance and explain it. And I could do different types of live performances. Like I could dance with my music. I could focus on the mix itself and make it very dynamic, blending my unique tracks into new mixes that even I am surprised to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I could just simply make it like a movie type thing. Everybody grabs a notebook and a pen and some popcorn, and you put the movie on the screen and let it play. And you kind of give yourself art therapy by watching the colors dance across your mind, and it will help you have good dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually am working on this frame where I have all my art magazines on the digital forms on one of those little frames that you can like have it slide, like those digital frames where you like skylights,
Mm-hmm.
where you email the picture and it frames, but
Right.
it's like a digital art frame for your home deco.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to fill it up with 12 seasons of these dance videos, which should be about 250 3 to 5 minute episodes of original art, GIF created, and Final Fantasy characters. I put in a lot of like fun little memes in there, like cat playing on the piano, blended with my art, and like Dance Dance Revolution, and then like I kaleidoscopes the Dance Dance Revolution pattern sliding,
Mm-hmm.
so it looks like there's like arrows flying everywhere, and you're supposed to step to the patterns in it. And you just kind of like look at it, like, you know how art changes when you look at it longer?
Yeah.
Well, so when you watch these videos, if you unfocus your eyes and gently let them rest in front of you about 3 feet, then you can see that these patterns are moving and telling their own stories. And I have blended some AI art in there, but I've always asked the artists, because there's some really cool dream designers out there that build really psychedelic, trippy, awesome, lovely, evolving patterns. And I just wanted to break in there and take out the dark light and the light and blend it and put mirror effects on it and blend it further into layers of my art, because I will spend about 6 to 8 hours to program one of these 3 to 5 minute videos. And while I do it, I'm walking on my treadmill. So that's why I'm getting all my steps in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked on that all this year after I put out my 4 new albums on YouTube under the releases. Bandcamp has all my older stuff, but the brand new stuff's on YouTube releases.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to check it out, it's really good. I've got such tracks like names with albums Ecstatic Suka Serenity Eyes, which is like ecstatic. I'm so in love. I feel so ecstasy. I feel so good. I feel so pleasant, which is one of the best, most pleasant things we could feel as a human is ecstatic. I'm ecstatic about going to the theme park and riding the Ferris wheel. Woo! The kids
Mm-hmm.
jumping up and down.
Right.
And Serenity Eyes. So, Serenity Eyes is one of my things where I feel connected to the word serenity. And I've got beautiful days, drishti on point, which is like focus on point, direct focus on point.
Yeah.
There's ecstatic sukha, which is like sukha is like an ease. It's like a calm, gentle awareness. It's like when you take long, deep breaths for a long time and you finally are satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like a state of sukha. It's kind of like a pre state to satori,
Mm-hmm.
which is like having no thought at all and you're just in the flow and like you know what to do and where to go.
Oh my
And there's
god. God, what the fuck is it? It's
like in meditation,
uh,
satori.
yeah, Satori. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, where it's like
And I met this really cool person at a festival with the name Satori, and it's a really good screen name, like Satori Serenity. Like it's two S's, like Sacred Satori Serenity. Doesn't that just sound blessed?
that sounds
I
pretty
thought
strong. Does sound
all
good
of the
altogether.
joy, Galaxy Eyes, Glitch Artichoke, Hidden Water Tribe of Asuka, Level Zero Conscience Matter, Orbiting the Reverent Nine, Star Gushing, Surrendered Force, Water Lily Serenity, Namastome, Yggdrasil's Techno Heart. Yggdrasil is like the ancient phenomenal tree of life that's
Right.
brought about in many different cultures and stories and ways of describing it in like Africa, Europe, Russia, China, American history, indigenous history. And Yggdrasil was a tree of life, basically. It's just the tree of life story. And the symphonic lavender chakra, and I spelled chakra with an S. Some of these are kind of housey, but if you listen, you're going to see a lot of really cool creative elements. And I've actually borrowed a lot of video game samples. I've used tuning forks with microphones to catch it into it. I've taken some from the bird and the bee,
So I'm
polite
no, I'm just curious.
dance song.
I'm just curious.
Hmm?
What I know because all of this is like definitely leading just towards or feels very like in the future of like you're aiming or it seems to be encapsulating this like movement renaissance, another coming renaissance. I feel very strongly of like that I'm here to do or help facilitate a similar thing. But then is there any like because we all have to play the money game, unfortunately, because we live in this fucking crazy ass world. But like,
Thrive or starve.
yeah, what? How do you grapple with, or is there any way we can work together to like fight off being the starving artists?
I think you should stop listening to anybody that ever tells you you don't deserve money for your work. Because if you do a quick Google search, it says the Creative Fair Value Act trade of the creative goods industry is that general labor in the creative field is valued at 24.49 per hour. That means if you're doing general labor and not even having success, but just for the labor itself, you deserve to get paid. You should be having paychecks coming in. And I feel like what you said is correct, that they've hijacked the music industry and like Taylor Swift is in charge of it all, basically. She's got all of them hooked on her candy cane. She's writing crap lyrics about breaking up with everybody and hooking up with everybody. And it's just kind of gross and it's not sincere or divine at all. It's just really candy like and it doesn't taste good. Candy runs out fast. And truth is really bitter at first, but it's going to taste really sweet at the end. Lies, on the other hand, they're really sweet at first, but then they taste incredibly bitter.
Goddamn.
I'm not going to lie.
That's so
I've
funny.
got a vial of Piece of Hope.
That's amazing. Did you go up with that, or who did you hear that one from? I don't know why I've
Well,
never heard
remember,
that before.
everything was just a thought. Everything was just a thought. So if you think of it like this, that you're free to explore the universe like Stephen Hawking in your mind. You're living on Earth, but when you imagine things, you have a visual center like I do. That's a part of your brain that activates images. So if I say, think of a vase or a vase, can you picture that vase pretty easily?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in your brain right now besides a vase? Or can you
Uh,
just see this vase?
no, it was
Do you
like,
see it in your eyes? Do you see it with your eyes closed? I'm just testing.
yeah, this testing. No, it's all in the mind's eye. Like, if I really need to like turn off any other the visual or like other senses that to get more detail or like because I was also being where it was in space, but we're getting very close to the hour limit of
Yeah.
the thing. So I just want to try to.
Thank you so
Uh,
much for the interview. It was a blessing, and I felt great being able to describe it to you. And I hope I didn't mess up. And I had
no,
fun.
it was great, man. It was great. I wanna ask you the last question, but I just know that we're not gonna have enough time for it, so we're probably gonna have to have you back on just so we could fucking chop it up some more and do the last question the next time. So let's just end with where people can find your stuff, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen wherever as you're talking about it. But where they can find you, what they're gonna find when they get there, how they can support you, and like all that good stuff.
Patreon is where I'm at right now. I've got a $1 tier for even the most stingy of people alive. You can have access to everything I've done for $1 a month for a lifetime. I've got a lucky tier for the PM people. That's the 777 tier. That's $7.77. I haven't gone any higher than that, but I feel like if I could get 100 to 1,000 people on board with this, I could start cruising the world, dancing everywhere in every city for tips. And if no tips, no expectations, for nothing else but the pure joy of dancing, like watching that nobody else is there,
Mm-hmm.
and just having the music uh, capture the subspace around it.
Sure. All right. Well, I think that's
Yeah, Patreon. I'll send you my link tree on the thing, and you could post that anywhere.
yeah. It'll be
Is that cool?
yeah. Check it out. People in the description, or it was on screen as my man Azure was talking about it, and then I'll just say my little piece, and we'll fucking call it. So
Here's my threads so you can see it.
yep.
I don't know if you're able to read that, but it's just simple memories art, and I have the link tree in the bio. I would perfectly appreciate you so very much if you could click that and just use your gift of touch and poke around and touch it all. There's like 10 links. You can get right onto my phone's WhatsApp if you know how to search me. I have so much juicy hidden secrets. Just take your time and enjoy. Thanks so much, man.
You got it. You got it,
Appreciate it.
people. Smile more.
All right, peace.
Complain less. Never ever give up until you deserve for your darndest best. Namaste. Have a great day. Slap you if it's nighttime soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Keep the algorithm satisfied. And if I don't see you while I'm alive, I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much for your time and attention, people. And I will hopefully see you in the next episode. Peace.